Okay, thank you. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the Canvas for Parents Community Ed class tonight. My name is Carrie Jacobs. I am the online learning coordinator for West Des Moines Community Schools. So I am the teacher person who manages the Canvas account for the district. I have one other counterpart, Abby Cunningham, is also an online learning coordinator for the district, and she just isn't able to attend tonight, but she would be somebody else that you would talk to, ask for help with. I'm the one taking on more support, helping the parents. She's doing more of the grade book setting up stuff, so we're trying to divvy out the work as much as possible. So thank you so much for being here. Like I said, we are also going Facebook Live with the class tonight to try to help and support as many parents as we can possibly, kind of in one shot here. We know that Canvas is a whole new system, and it's really hard, tough to learn a new system. You know, we've got used to Infinite Campus. We've had Infinite Campus for I think 13 years. So it's a new system. It's a change. Change is hard, but we're going to get through this together, and we're here to help you in any way possible. So I'll be answering questions as we go through stuff, and then also Erin will be asking me questions from the Facebook group as well. So we'll be multitasking a bit. So to begin with, just going to talk a little bit about why we even have Canvas. What is it? Why are we switching to this? What's the motivation behind it? So Infinite Campus, what we've been using for a while, is what is called an SIS. Teachers love their acronyms. So it's a Student Information System, and it handles that really, really well. It handles emails and phone numbers and assessment data and addresses and all of that data. It handles that really, really well. It has a grade book, but the grade book is just very limited in what it can do and what it offers teachers and what it offers students, and truly what it offers you as parents. You know, you see an assignment, you see points, and you see a grade, and that's all you really know about what your student is doing. Canvas, on the other hand, is a newer program, and it's a newer system, what's called an LMS. So it's a learning management system. Canvas doesn't care about student data. It doesn't care about addresses and phone numbers and all that stuff. It lets Infinite Campus handle that. It cares about curriculum. Canvas is really, really good at offering all types of technology integration for our teachers and our students, and offering all kinds of different ways for us to put curriculum online for students. And the cool part, online for you. So you don't, now with Canvas, you get to see full assignment details. You get to see exactly what your student did in that assignment, what they submitted, what they talked about. You get to see the feedback that this teacher gave your child. So you can see what they're actually saying, you can see what they're actually doing. So you're going to have that much more information than you ever had before on what's happening. On top of that, you're going to get to see what's happening in what is coming up, what's happening in the future. And you're going to be able to set up personal alerts. You're going to be able to set up all sorts of things that will help you as the parent have a better understanding of what your child's education looks like. So that's why we're going through this shift. That's why we're going through all these growing pains of actually using this system, because it's such a great system for what you can see. We've been using Canvas. Some teachers dived in with both feet the first year that we got Canvas 3 years ago. So your child might have one of those students that's been using it for 3 years and absolutely loves it, and it has a lot of different things on Canvas. We have other teachers that waited a little bit, wanted to see what else was going on, wanted to see if Canvas stuck around, because sometimes with technology, stuff doesn't always work like we want it to, right? And so they're a little slower in getting in there. Their Canvas might look a little different. So, you know, give everybody all the same grace as we're all learning this new system and working through all of this huge learning curve. So teachers are working hard to get everything onto Canvas and get that information out there for you. So that's kind of the big what what, why, behind the scenes. Any questions about any of that? Okay, so to start off with, if you want a digital copy of this presentation that I'm doing, here is the link for it. So it's tinyurl.com/WDMCS Canvas Parent. And that will give you all the slides, that will give you the links that we put in here and everything. So tinyurl.com/WDMCS Canvas Parent. And you will see this one more time at the end of the presentation as well. Oh. So this is our contact information. Like I said, my name is Carrie, and then Abby Cunningham is my counterpart. So that's our email, and that's our office number. Please send us an email. Give us a phone call. We are happy to help you with any of these questions that you need, any of the questions that you have. We're here to support. If you've noticed, if you've been in Canvas, you also might have noticed that there's a help link on your Canvas account, and that's awesome too. Canvas is there 24/7 to answer questions for you as well. So they have tech support there at their company that will help you too. So you're not alone in this. We're here to support you in any way. So what we're going to go over today. First off, those of you that need to connect with your pairing code, we're going to go through pairing code setup. So those of you that already have done the pairing code setup, just patiently wait for us while we get everybody on the same page. And then we're going to go through the beginning. Start with your dashboard and your settings and look at what everything looks like there. We're going to go through notifications. Some of you that have already created an account are probably really annoyed with all the emails you're getting right now. Canvas has default settings for what they think you want to be notified of as a parent. And one of them is course content. So anytime a teacher has changed the course content, you're getting a notification about it. So that's become really obnoxious for some of us that do not want our emails flooded with all of those notifications. So I'm going to show you how to shut those off. And then I'm going to show you the most important aspect, how to view those grades. Where do you go to find the grades? And then if you want more details about it, where can you go to get those details? And then finally looking at the essential life skills. So this year with our effective grading practices, we have moved from docking points for lateness, other aspects of behavior within the course, and we've removed those and called those essential life skills. And so now within Canvas, we have the ability to give feedback to our students about those essential life skills without making it part of their grade. So they can have a whole separate just feedback on their professionalism, on how well do they work as a collaborative member of the class. All of those essential life skills that we know are very important for their future living. Yeah?
One question that we have, Carrie, from an Ashley Atkins, and this might be reiterating from what you said earlier as
okay.
we gather more of that Facebook audience, but she asks, is this Canvas, is it used across all grades at Western Moines Community Schools?
Grades 3 through 12 have access to it. Grades 7 through 12 are using it gradebook wise. So grades 3 through 6, right now it's optional that they can use it if the teacher wants to. So if they have a child in grades 3 through 6, that would be a conversation with the teacher on getting your child connected. We do have classes as young as kindergarten and first grade that are using it for parent resource. It's been a really, really great tool for parents to get all of those programs and apps and recommendations of different things that are happening. So we do have some classes that are using it in kindergarten and first and second grade. That information would come from the teacher. Thank you. Any other questions about what we'll be doing? Okay. So the first part, looking at how to get connected, how to get set up. For those of you that need to go through all of this, there is a handout and paper back there, but for everybody else, if you prefer a digital copy, here is a link to that digital copy. So it's again a tiny URL. This time it's a code Y2NXX2FR. And this link is also in the, so if you just wrote down that first one, the WDMCS Canvas, you'll be able to get this link as well. So the first part of this is that pairing code. It used to be only a student could create the pairing code, but now teachers have the ability to create the pairing code as well. So we have that now, especially for those in those upper grades where the student, they're holding that power. They don't want to let you have the pairing code. They don't want to get you connected. Now teachers can do that as well. So all the student needs to do, if they are dragging their heels a little bit, it's really simple for them. So if you have a spouse, partner, guardian, somebody else who would need to get connected, this is what your student would need to do. For those of you who already are connected, they just go to their account. It opens up the account menu. They click on settings, which then in settings, they just click this pair with observer. When they click pair with observer, it gives them this code, that this is the code that you need. Usually it's a 5 to 6 digit letters and numbers, and case matters. So if it's uppercase, lowercase, that's what matters. So anytime you have somebody that wants to connect with your student, they have to have an individual code. So mom and or dad and or mom, stepmoms, whoever needs to connect, each one has to have an individual code. It's a one-time use only. Okay? So once you have your code, now you can go to either the app or to the website. So if you're on a computer right now and you need to connect, go to WDMCS.org, go to our school's website, and then click on that Canvas Parent Portal. Two things to be sure of. Do not just search for Canvas. If you just search for Canvas, you'll come up with a lot of images of art canvases, or you'll come up with public Canvas. And so there's Canvas, when you buy their program, they offer you multiple websites. So our website is locked down to us. Only anybody approved to get into the West Des Moines system can get into the West Des Moines system. So all of your students' information is completely locked down and private. There's no way for anybody to get to it publicly. So once you're in, you click at that top corner, parent of a Canvas user, click here for to create an account. So up at that top corner, you click to create the account, and then you just go through the setup. So you type your name, your email, whatever you want your password to be, and then type your pairing code. Do I need to slow down for those of you that needed to get connected, or are you in now? Okay, we are going to continue then. So now that everybody's in Canvas, everything I'm going through is going to be on the web-based version. I will show you the app because I have good news for those of you who are on Apple phones, iPhones. They just pushed out a complete update to the app, and it's awesome. And the cool part is everybody now on the app can get missing assignment alerts. So you don't have to go into the account, you don't have to rely on an email or anything like that. You can go right to your app and you can get a list of all their missing assignments if they have it. For those of you that were missing the email that would go out every Thursday. So that's talking about the apps. We were shying people away from the Apple app because it just wasn't working as well. But now with that latest update that just came out, it's awesome. You do get more information still on the website. You can edit your those email notifications that you're getting. You can do a little more on the website. So we still recommend at least going to the website, but that app will get you what you want. It'll get you your grades. It'll get you those notifications that you're looking for. So when you log into Canvas, the first thing you'll see is the dashboard. There's a couple different pieces of the dashboard to look at. The first is all of these cards. So you have all those cards. Those are all the courses that your student is in. A frustrating piece. You don't know whose classes they are. If you have more than one student, it's all the cards. So we're going to show you a couple different things you can do to organize them to help you out there. I have 2 children in the district, so the first time I opened it up, it's like, ugh, where am I going to go and how am I going to find this? So, if you want to change your view, if you'd rather not see the cards and you just want to see what's recently happening, you can click on those 3 dots. Those 3 dots always are a menu. So anytime you see 3 dots, that means a menu is going to open up in Canvas, and they'll give you options of things to do. So you can click on the 3 dots and you can see recent activity. Then within the course, here's the first thing you can do to start organizing for your students on here. Within the course, you'll see those 3 dots on the course tile. If you click on that, you can now rename the course. So for all of my son's classes, I've called, like this one, Cole Latin. Because I don't know, if I look at just the code latin.stoa. All sorts of code stuff, I don't know that that's his course until I've actually clicked in it and saw that it was Cole. Now I call it Cole Latin, and over here on the tile, that's the first thing that shows up. That's what shows up in bold. So now I know every time that's Cole's course. I also have set it up that all of my son's classes I'm putting with red tile. So now I know all the red courses are my son's courses. So my daughter's courses, I made them all, I called it Grace Math, and I made all hers purple. So every time on that course you hit those 3 dots, you can nickname the course, and then you can give the tile a certain color. So it works out really well that I can then have a quicker view as to what my students have. Any questions about the dashboard? Yeah.
Can you sort them?
Yep. You can click and drag and move them wherever you want them.
You can
Click and drag those cards. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yep, so they're all clickable. You can click and move them all over. You could put them in order from 1st period to 8th period if you wanted. So now within your account, here are some different things that you can do to personalize. The first thing we'll go over is your notifications. To get to that account menu, you click on Account over there at the top of that bar. And so you tell Canvas what you want them to tell you about your students' work and how you want to receive that information. The second one is your profile. If you want to put a parent profile on there, you have the ability. Then settings. This is a really cool aspect for those of us who are not, English might not be our first language. You can go in and change language settings. Canvas has about 40 different languages right now that it will can translate into. And this is great for our newcomer students as well. Canvas will translate into, they can pick their own language. So it's really helpful for students that are learning English. Gives them just that another leg up and some accommodations in the classroom. And then finally, under observing, you can see a list of students that you're observing, so you can make sure you've got everybody in there. So looking then at your profile settings, we'll go to that first aspect. Here is where, when you click on profile or click on settings, you can go in, you can change your name, and there, right there is where you can pick your language. So where it says language there, you can pick whatever language you want. And then if you are a parent that travels for work or something, you can also change time zones. So then it will convert the time zone for you as well under the settings in your account. So those are both really helpful aspects for accommodations there in Canvas. Yeah. If you click Edit Profile on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I did. But mine just comes up biography.
Oh, go to
maybe
settings.
that right there.
You're in profile.
Yeah.
If you go to settings,
Yeah.
is there an edit settings on the right? No?
Oh yeah, there it is.
Okay. So there you can.
I don't think I can change my name.
No, it won't let you change your name? Okay.
That's okay.
Oh. We have it turned off for students, which means we have to turn it off for everybody. Students were going in and changing their names to really interesting things.
Okay.
And then teachers didn't know who they were. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, so we had to change that. So no, you can't change your name. At the bottom of that settings page, if you are a person that has visual impairments, visual issues, you can scroll down to the bottom. Canvas offers a couple different features to help with visual impairments. First is a high contrast, so it will darken and lighten certain things to show the difference. And then it will also underline links, so you can tell that that's a link versus just seeing it bolded. Canvas really prides itself on being visually accessible for all students. Teachers can't change the font. The font that they have in Canvas has been researched and selected as the best font for for as many visual impairments as possible. So anything that's on Canvas is made to be as visually accessible as possible. So the important piece, notification settings. Again, we're under account, and then you click on the link notifications. Here are all of a list of notifications you can get. There's probably 30 different types of notifications there. We recommend 3 at the minimum for you to get notified on an instant basis. So Canvas offers 3 different layers of notifications as well. If you see across there, you have the check, means notify me right away. I want to see it the instant it happens. A little clock face means send me a daily summary. So I want to know daily what they did. Or the little calendar means send me a weekly summary. And then an X means I don't want to know anything at all. Don't send me a notification at all. Okay? So you can go back and change this anytime. Whatever you pick today doesn't mean you have to stay with it. You can go back, you can change your mind. If you find it still too many emails, perfectly okay. The only thing we recommend that you get notified of right away, the first one is an announcement. Announcements are how teachers communicate with their students on things that are happening. You know, reminder, there's a test coming up tomorrow. Study tonight. Reminder, we have this field trip in 2 days. Reminder, get that in. So announcements, it's really just great to have that information, if nothing else, to sit at the kitchen table and say, so how's that studying for the test going? You know, we didn't tell you about it. That's why Canvas is awesome. So it's really helpful to have that. The other notification that's great to have is grading. So anytime anything has been graded, you get a notification about it. The part that I love the most is that Canvas gives you the option, because again, they care about privacy. They will not send your student's name or your student's grade in the notification unless you check and tell them to. You can tell them to send the name and the grade, and then Canvas will send it in the email. So you get a notification that says this assignment's been graded, and here's what they got. So it goes right there in your email, works out well. The only other thing I recommend is conversations. So Canvas integrates with your email that if a parent or a teacher sends you a message from Canvas, it instantly syncs to your email. And so you get an email in your email account. You can reply in your email account, and it automatically syncs back to Canvas. So you don't ever have to open the message inbox in Canvas if you have added a conversation and conversation message as an instant notification. So it works out really well. Yeah?
Is that conversation for parents?
Yes.
Or is that between?
That would be something that the teacher chose to send to parents.
Okay.
Yep. The other recommendation I make, if you have more than one child, up here at the top of the notification screen, there is a show the name of the observed in the notification. So like I said, Canvas very much protects your child's privacy. If you click that and give it permission, then they will put your student's name in every notification. So then you know who the notification is talking about.
Notification will show the teacher or whoever sending it.
Yes.
Okay.
What are the discussions?
So that is within in the Canvas course. The student, the teacher could assign a discussion. So like throw out a topic that the kids are going to talk about on Canvas. So it's nothing that you would be participating in at all. You would just see, you could go in anytime and see what they posted. Yeah.
One question that we have from an Anastasia Rasmussen is, will both parents be copied on the full chain to their email?
If the teacher sends it. It's not, they have to choose both parents in the observer role. So a lot of times they won't send individual emails through Canvas. It would be like sending a bulk message to all observers. So whoever is listed as an observer in the course would get the message. So any questions about notifications? You can only set this up on the web browser. If you are an app user, the app has a completely different notification system. So if you're on the app, especially both iPhone and Android now, to get to those notifications, I was going to show you on the screen, but the dot camera doesn't work. So to get to those notifications or to set up what you want, you have to just open up the app so it goes to that screen where it has the list and you pick your student. So if you click on the 3 bars and then click Manage Children, you have to do it for each child. So you say, so I'm going to pick my son, I'm picking Cole, and so then I can say I want to be notified, I want to get an alert of a course that has a grade below a certain percentage, if it has a course with a grade above a certain percentage, and if he has a missing assignment. And then I can do an assignment grade below or an assignment grade above. I can get course announcements, and I can also get institution announcements. So if there's something happening Canvas-wide, Abby or I will also send out institution announcements, is what they call them. And so I set all that up on my phone, and then to get them, when I'm on the home page of the app, I just click Alerts, and there's my list of all my notifications for my son. So then I can see everything that's been graded. There's the missing stuff. I told him that I was going to show you guys, so now he gets to be embarrassed. So that's all there. So it works out really, really well then. I can, anytime I want to see, I can go right there to my app and look at my alerts. Any questions about notifications then? So the next piece then is viewing those grades. How do I see my students' grades? What's going on there? The parent observer role gives you all sorts of information. This is way too much information to see on the screen and read it all, and I'm not going to go through it all. The kicker of it is you can see what your student's doing. You can't see what all the other students are doing. So if it's a discussion, you can view the discussion, but you will only see your students' posts on the discussion. You won't see what all the other students posted. So there are all of a lot more that you can than you can't. You can't do work for your student. You can't submit. You can't view stuff that the teacher hasn't given everybody permission to view. So there's all of those things, you know, to me, very obvious things that you can't do, but there's so much more that you can. So take the time at some point to go through that list and look at it. If you just want a list, I want a list of all my kids' courses and what their current grade is. On your dashboard, over on the right-hand side, there is a link called View Grades. So when you click on it, it opens up a list, and it's all of your students on one list. So it has their name, their course, and then over on the side, their score. So you can stop there. That's usually my check. Can my son go out Friday night or not? Right? So, we have a D. Sorry, you're not going. So, but I can get more information. So all of these links are links into their classes. So I can go in, I can see why he's got that D. We can click in it, and then I can see all the assignments. I can get an individual list here. So it'll have the name of the assignment. It'll have when it was due, what is its status, is it missing, or was it turned in late? What happened, what he scored, what were the points out of. And then on the side here, there's all sorts of notifications. So if there was comments on it, if the teacher left comments, you can click and you can read the comments that the teacher left for the student. You can also, I don't have to move to course. So right here is his individual grades. I clicked on Latin to get to this list, but all I have to do is hit this drop down, and then I can choose all of his other courses. I don't have to go back to the dashboard and click on the next one or go back to view grades. I can go right here by this and click on the list and sort that way. I also can sort by due date. So I can put them in order by due date, or I can put them in order by assignment groups, or by module, or just alphabetically by title. So Canvas allows you to be able to sort all those assignments and put them in order to make more sense to you. Due date is the default. It goes in order by due date. And then all you do is click apply. Within Canvas, there are all sorts of little icons, notifications to you. So instead of us going through what each of those tiny little icons means, this is a link to a Canvas handout that explains every one of those icons. So when you get this PDF, when you go to that link, this is a hyperlink to explain every one of those icons. Canvas also, all you got to do is hover, put your pointer on and hover over it, and it'll pop up a description of the icon as well. So you don't have to go in and look. You could just hover over each one, and it will tell you what that icon means.
I have a question.
Yep.
On mine, when I pulled on one of the kids, I have a class from last year.
Yes. So we are working on getting that cleaned up. What has happened is, as we have learned and used Canvas better, we found that some teachers either, it's called cross-listing, so they've copied courses into other courses. And so some have cross-listed into a manually created course, which means it never goes away. So we're working. It's kind of on a case-by-case basis as we find these courses. We've done we sorted through thousands and thousands of courses over the summer and removed as many as possible, and now we're just cleaning it up. So we will get there. Your child it's sitting there, but your child can't do anything in it or affect anything. Yep.
I was just worried that next year I'm going to have
even more. Nope, they will all disappear. No, all of these classes, I promise you, they will all disappear next year, and you will be good to go. We got that ready for this year.
Okay.
So, any questions about?
Another
Yeah.
thing, on that list of all the grades, can you sort it by student or no?
No, that list you can't sort. That's just default. I think it just, I don't know, maybe alphabetically. I don't know what the default would be for that. But yeah, it just, you click and it takes you to the list.
Yes.
Mhm.
If you have 2 kids or 3, it's a
Yep, it's a longer list.
yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the piece we'll look at now is the essential life skills. So this is removing those behaviors from their actual grades. So it won't be looking at, yes, the missing assignment does affect, right? Not doing homework affects because they're not doing the practice that they need. But it's more purposeful conversations about that behavior. The teacher now has the opportunity to provide the feedback and say, okay, see all these times you didn't do, now see how that affected. And being able to then have really purposeful conversations. So these are the 5 essential life skills that teachers will be providing feedback on at least once a quarter. So they're looking at continuous learning. So are they looking towards accomplishing their goals? Collaboration, how well are they working with each other? How well do they work sometimes in a team or in a group? Communication, are they communicating respectfully with their peers in the classroom? Are they communicating with their teacher when they need something? Critical thinking, are they analyzing the world around them? Are they questioning what's happening? And then professionalism, are they demonstrating those professional skills they need to be a successful adult? Are they demonstrating that being on time, being resourceful, turning in, their assignments on time? All of those things that we need to show integrity and to be a responsible adult. So teachers are providing feedback through what is called the Learning Mastery gradebook side of Canvas. So you access it the same way you access your students' grades. It just is in a different tab. So you could get to it by either clicking into a course and clicking on grades, or you can click view grades as we went to that list and then clicked into a course. So either way, you're going back to that same individual assignment list, except this time, instead of looking at their assignment list, you're going to click on the tab called Learning Mastery. And so under that tab, you will see a bar either called grades 6 through 12 or essential life skills, depending on if they've changed the name or not. So when they downloaded the outcomes from us, it was called grades 6 through 12. And so some teachers went in because they wanted to make it more understandable, changed the name to essential life skills. So some might have it in their course, some might not yet. We're not to the end of the quarter yet, and the expectation is by the end of each quarter, they're providing feedback. So did everybody get to the Learning Mastery?
There's some that say high school 9 through 12 too.
Some that say high school 9 through 12? Okay. So yeah, it depends on, because they can rename it whatever they want. So it's hard, I don't know I can't tell you that this is this way for everybody.
And do we drill into them?
Yep. So then you click on that little arrow. So the arrow next to essential life skills, you click on that, and then it opens up all of the essential life skills. Oop, don't do that. Okay. So we can see this student has not been scored, hasn't received any feedback on anything but professionalism. So it'll say no alignments here. That means the teacher has not provided any feedback on collaboration, communication, continuous learning, or critical thinking, but has provided 6 alignments, so has given my son 6 times given him feedback on professionalism. And I can see that he currently, this week, has mastered his professionalism. So he's gotten 3 out of 3 for this week. And once this is scored here, then he'll be able to get in. So now, if I want more detail, I'm going to click on that arrow, and it's going to open up another window for me. And I can do the same for each one. Yeah?
One question we got from Mary T. Myers is, how frequently are teachers required to update assignments and grades in Canvas? For her situation, it appears there are some assignments which say missing but have been submitted. There are assignments marked as late and the due date has not occurred yet. Due date says January 10 of 2020.
So yeah, there's some issues there with what teachers, what we found this year with teachers is a lot of them are importing curriculum from last year into this year. And so what happened with that was when we imported the curriculum, we didn't think about the due dates. And so all due dates are last year's due dates. And as assignments get assigned to the student, then they realize that the due date is too late, or is last year's due date, and then they go in and edit the due date. But Canvas recognizes that the student has already been assigned that, and so its default is to say, well, you can't change the due date on the student after that you've already assigned it. And so it looks like it's there, but it's not to Canvas. So it's a confusing aspect right now, and we've, as it's come up with teachers, we've worked to help them, to support them to make that change. So the teachers that have made that mistake have learned to remove all due dates when they do their course import. And that will definitely alleviate the problem for them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The other part of that question, but as for how often do they have to update, there is no set expectation. If there is an expectation, that's been decided by the principal. So that communication would come from the principal on how often the principal expects the grade book to be updated. So I can't speak on that, as it's each individual building has a decision there. Thank you. Understand.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So then once you drill into the next level of the outcomes, then you'll see each time your child has been, you'll get the whole history of all of those alignments. So I can tell this week my son probably procrastinated a little bit on getting this assignment done, and he only got a progressing. The week after, hopefully learned his lesson and got it in right, and then he moved up to a 3 on his professionalism. So you can even go further in. If I wanted to see even what this assignment is, I could click on that assignment, and then I could go see what the teacher's expecting. I could have a conversation with my son as to what's going on here. He really enjoys that over the dinner table. And from there, I could see all 6. The screen didn't have enough room for all 6, but then all 6 were here. If the teacher provided any comments or any feedback, personal feedback, I would also see that personal feedback under here, that I could read exactly what the teacher advice the teacher gave to my student. So that way, that's just that much more information, that much more detail on what's happening in my child's class, because every night when I ask him, I get fine. And fine doesn't tell me anything. So this just gives me so much more information. So the last part then is, how can I learn more? Well, definitely talk to us. We are here. We are here to help in any way possible. But also Canvas has some great resources for parents. The first of that is these Canvas guides. So in your Canvas course, if you click on that little question mark there at the bottom, Canvas has put together some amazing resources for parents, both in video form. So it's all how do I check on an assignment? How do I see my students' grades? How do I see a missing assignment? Canvas has all of that in there. So they have really great visual handouts, and then they also have really great visual guides. And then if something isn't working, if something this is supposed to be happening, or you just have a question for Canvas, that's where you click that report a problem, and that sends us an email with your question, and we can help you then. So again, here is the link to this whole presentation, which then includes the links to all the other handouts, to all the other stuff. And I'm here to answer any questions, walk you through anything. We did finish a little early. I hope nobody complains too much. Yes.
So you said that this is mostly used for 7th through 12th grade.
Yes.
If we have 3rd through 6th graders also, can we?
Yep, I can.
That in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that's the other great part about Canvas, is once you've connected as an observer, you're always there. You don't have to do it again every year. You're just in. So yeah, that's something we can definitely do tonight. So I can set you up with for anybody. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions from online?
No, we're good.
Okay.
That must be a
So
good sign.
Good sign. Hopeful. Yay. Do you want to just close out of that then? Because I've got nothing else I need to